Welcome back to Breakfast Central. It's time for us to review the front pages of the papers, and we're joined this morning by the Chief Coordinating Officer, Sustainable Stories Africa, Uade Ahimie. Good morning, Uade. Good
morning, Oli.
Good morning, Chief.
Uade,
good to have you. You're looking very regular this morning.
Good morning, Joe. I'm looking what?
I always look forward to seeing you because I know your outfits carry a certain kind of persona with you, and I love it. But let's get straight into the business of this morning. That's looking at the newspaper headlines. We'll start with This Nigeria. Can we have This Nigeria up, please? Tunde Raji, to be specific. Okay, This Nigeria, the front page of This Nigeria says, 2027, Makinde lobbying to be Atiku's running mate, says Fayose. I don't know where he got that information from, but we have it on the news that former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and Makinde went to Hilltop in Minna to visit former President Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. Alleges Oyo pledged 10 billion to be on ticket at Minna meeting with Atiku and IBB. NACA urges Nigerians to celebrate Valentine's safely to prevent HIV, because many young Nigerians have misconstrued, not just young Nigerians, young and middle age, and also some adult Nigerians, they've misconstrued St. Valentine's Day as a day
all of them adults.
You know, vices and other things I can't say. So this, by the way, NACA is the National Action Council on AIDS. So it's a great message. They need to, that should actually be the headline. They need to send this message. We need to hammer on such a message. Valentine's Day is a day of love, which doesn't necessarily mean that kind of love. Faulty Arik Air, Port Harcourt bound flight diverted safely to Benin. We thank God it wasn't worse than what we saw, says the the Safety and Investigative Bureau. Troops capture terrorist camp. Good news. Recover ammunition in Kogi Forest. We've taken out about 62 criminal camps in Anambra, says Soludo. And INEC MPC strengthen security ahead of FCT polls. I think we'll start with the 2027 permutations. Yes, the strikers, the supporting striker, the talks, transfer season. Are we supposed to take what former Governor Ayosh Parashe is saying? What's your take on this? 2027?
My first question to this headline is, which party is Atiku running?
ADC.
So which party is Makinde?
PDP.
You know, I know Ayosh Parashe talks a lot, and sometimes when he says some things, you wonder where he gets them from. And I'm
but
looking
there's
at
no smoke without fire.
So
what were they doing in Minna at the residence of the former president? You don't think
maybe Fayose will tell us. Was he there with them? Because I really don't. I know what they were doing in Minna. So I can't go and visit a former president. And so if I go visit a former president now, means that because I went there, another former vice president was there, means that we went there to get, what do you call it, communion or
political blessing.
Pour the holy oil of politics, are you with me, on their heads so that they can become the next anointed. Because except Makinde, Governor Makinde is moving to the ADC, or former Vice President Atiku is coming back to the PDP. I really don't understand how. Is that so? Maybe if Atiku runs for presidency again, which I've said several times that, in my own opinion, I don't think he should do that. Once he declares his candidacy, Makinde too will follow suit, or he will get, or maybe he's what do you call that thing? A coalition of parties that.
I mean, it's still early days.
Governor
Makinde is a second-term governor, so he's free to contest.
Governor Makinde is free to contest.
Anyway.
Yeah, he's free. I don't have no problem with that. But
Do you
one
have any
question
comments?
says that
Yeah,
I'm wondering where he got the news from.
Well,
Maybe he saw the vision.
I guess we'll wait and see. And I'll remember to hold you to it when things like this happen.
And so you should tell us
When,
where
the
he got the
prophecy
vision.
is fulfilled.
And we're there till then, let's wait and see whether that prophecy will
Let's
come to
talk
pass.
about this other story. And I'm glad that we've maintained, we've not had a air mishap, and long shall it be so, in a very long time. Faulty Arik Air Port Harcourt bound flight safely diverted to Benin. Did you see the visuals on social media?
No.
I guess one of the engines had an engine problem.
Yeah.
And landed safely. So kudos to the pilot and the management of.
Yeah, so first things first, kudos to the pilot. There was no air traffic accident this time around. But the truth of the matter is that is a machine, it's mechanical. It can be fine when when they're about to take off, but in mid-air something happens. So the most important thing is that the pilot was able to manage that situation, and we didn't end up losing Nigerians via another air crash, and that for me is fine. So kudos to the pilot. But when they say faulty Arik Air Port Harcourt bound flight, you seem to be insinuating that before it took off it was faulty. Do you have that information? Let's always, and that's why I always say let's be careful about headlines.
Yeah, but if it wasn't faulty, they wouldn't be forced to make an emergency landing.
Yeah, but so Benga, you got into your car this morning, you checked everything, and then you started it, and then you start driving, and all of a sudden you see a red light. Was it faulty when you?
So maybe words like Arik Air develops,
so
fault or something. As per faulty
diverted, Port Harcourt bound, divert, and then you now tell us the story of what happened. Not say fault. When you put that headline, the first thing that for me comes to my mind is that
it was a faulty plane or flight, and they still decided to exactly. Anyway,
and from a public relations perspective, it does.
Let's move on to Nigerian Tribune. Nigerian Tribune is the next paper we're going to look at. So many stories to look into there. Drama as Nwaebonyi, anger, trade word at committee sitting. Let's play that video. Let's get the video.
The altercation.
So yes, the altercation video of Nwaebonyi. Senator Nwaebonyi and Senator Anga in that angry, dispute. Take a look.
And our party in particular. So I urge you, Honorable Minister, to look in that direction and make sure that contractors are paid. Thank you, and may God bless.
Thank you,
Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Yes, already said it.
Well, sir, the principal officer, please, somebody spoke for 15 minutes. And I was talking for 5 minutes.
You can't shout at me.
I will shout at you. I can preside over this over you.
You can't.
I spoke for 5 minutes.
You cannot.
But somebody spoke for 15 minutes.
I'm also a principal officer.
Don't talk with that, please. I can preside over this meeting.
You can't.
That is the protocol.
No, you can't.
Thank you.
I'm also a principal officer.
You can't say so.
You're
You're under me.
You're bootlicking your boss.
For 15 minutes,
You're
and I'm talking for 5 minutes.
You're bootlicking.
Don't tell me that, please.
You're bootlicking. You're bootlicking your boss. Yes, you're
I'm putting the facts. I'm putting the facts on the real party.
Please.
Don't shut me down.
Okay, order, distinguished.
Sir, do we leave for executive session, sir?
No. It's fine.
So that forms our very first story. Back and forth altercations,
How do you want to ask Uade?
No, I'm going to ask him because but what I just wanted to say was that Senator Nwaebonyi looks so strong and healthy.
Yeah.
I don't know
When he started all these altercations obviously,
when did he start?
He started a long time ago.
When did he start?
But let's ask the expert the question. First
What
question
do you
that comes to my
expert in
mind.
what?
Expert in sustainability.
Stories.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
stories.
sustainability of,
Yes. The first question that comes to my mind after watching that video is, who is under who?
It's unfortunate that we think because at a particular point in time we're in position of leadership or leading, then every other person should keep quiet. They shouldn't have an opinion. They have nothing to say. If I say jump, I should be asking you how high. No, but that's not how it works. You are the leader of that committee. Doesn't make anybody your slave or your house help. And this is not the first time. You know, first and foremost, I think he has an anger issue.
He's on course.
Let's not even go there. He has an anger issue. So one of the things I think we should start doing with our elected officials is when we see this is the second time I've seen this man, you know, go off and in the wrong direction. You should go check and treat him for anger management. You know, since we voted him in and they are using taxpayers' money, rather than use taxpayers' money to abuse other elected officials or tell them that they are over or under, we should treat his anger management issues, you know. And that for me is, and what kind of signals do you send to people? Are you looking at a democratic setting? Because when you start to shout at another elected official and say you are under me because you are the chairman or the leader of a particular committee, then not only is it rude, are you with me? It just goes to show, like you said, it's on call. And there's no culture, simple. This is the second time he did it with the former...
Senator Natasha.
Well, I didn't see that one, but I saw the one with...
during the Natasha issue, obviously.
And I really don't understand what who he thinks he is. If people elected you, then you must. And
but do you think we need to have like a leadership 101 class, or better still, you could call it some form of reminders to those in power, because it pretty much seems like they have forgotten why they are there, which is one. And secondly, we see them not living up to the reasons why they are put there. It's a case of a god and a master.
No, I don't think so, because I think it's a general Nigerian attitude that once I get into a position of leadership, are you with me?
So should there be a reorientation?
I mean, we saw the Minister of Works the other day saying that he took the whole, he wanted to punish the woman.
So the thing about it is that we make a mistake when we are either appointed, elected, or we create a system that we're in charge of. And the mistake we make is we look at it that everybody who works with you and around you, who are your subordinates, are there to serve you. No. You are there to guide them and coordinate them, because tomorrow when you leave, they will continue to on that track. But when you have this kind of people, are you with me, who sit in our upper chambers, I don't tend to wonder why we are where we are and how we're going where we're going. Because you feel that, yes, because I'm in charge, then every other person, and it's just this idea of, like I always say, this idea of I better pass my neighbor. And that's his mentality.
Do you think the Senate Ethics Committee needs to step in here and maybe share a circular or have a breakfast meeting, you know, sort of to talk to senators about their conduct?
Maybe it will only be shouting at that point in time. They probably, you know, because it will be
no,
behind.
I mean, they need to know that they are called distinguished senators for a reason, and there's a way you carry there's a certain character traits that are associated with people that are called distinguished. And what we saw yesterday was far from being distinguished.
In Nigeria, you know, sometimes I always smile when I hear honorable, distinguished, excellency. When you look at those three words, maybe
and you look at the country.
No, let's not even look at the country. I look at the people who you tend to put those
honorifics.
Yes. Yeah. Then you are wondering, where's that honor? Or where's that distinguished?
Where's the
For you to be called a distinguished senator, you have to have a distinguished character.
And that's the first thing, character. Yeah.
You know, if we're looking in terms of, because I just feel like...
And it has to be about service.
Yeah, there's an over-obsession about who's superior to who, right? The senators were elected by the citizens. Yes, there is an order of protocol. If we're emceeing an event, a government event, for example, there is an order of protocol as to who comes first between the senator and the minister. But at the point of budget defense, that's not what we're discussing. That's the
focus on the
least
issues.
of our problems. You're being a superior person. Nobody cares. Nigerians don't care. They put you there to serve, not to exert your superiority.
Nigerian leaders realize that?
Let's pause. Let's pause. Let's go on a break. We'll come back and pick up from here after this break.
Welcome back. Take a look at the front pages of the newspapers with the CCO, Sustainable Stories Africa. Uade Ahimie.
Any walk.
Okay, all right. I give up.
With any work of Sustainable Stories Africa.
Okay, maybe I should just add distinguished CCO.
No,
because as Benga said during the break.
Peter said, for you to be called your excellency, you must be excellent.
Yeah,
and I hope that
the process that brought you into power must be excellent.
The process that brought you must be excellent. You must show excellence. There's a lot.
Uade, we have a special here on the show next week, and I know, our producers are listening, Lakumi, Kule, Benny, and we want to focus on are public servants really responsible? Because responsibility doesn't just come from taking a seat of office. It comes from how you dispense, how you act, how you behave, how you manage funds and resources. That's what we're going to look at. And this is going to be part of the conversation.
Okay, and I hear you, and that's fantastic. But you see, we all need to be careful in Nigeria. And why do I say that is this. When you destroy a system, and I say this every time, when you destroy a system, are you with me? The system is a reflection of the people. And the system has been created by some people because of, one, inferiority complex, and many times what I call poverty mentality. Poverty mentality. So when people don't, if you go and look at the history of the civil service, and I say it boldly, before the late head of state, General Murtala Mohammed came in, there's no way in the world Nigerian civil servants have trained civil servants in Singapore, in Asia, in Africa, in Eastern Europe, and they were always looked at only next behind the British civil service. So what happened? If you don't know the root cause, of course we can't change anything. We can come here and talk and say, a lot of them know. And I've had so many arguments with some of my analysts sometimes. Oh, those in private sector know more than those. It is false, completely. Because these are people who have to deal with not only organizations within their country, they have to deal with bilateral issues, and everybody just comes and says, oh, they don't know anything. That's not possible. I need to, you need to sometimes speak out for them. Because when you have pushed them to a wall, and like they say, when you push Nigerians to the wall, they create the wall. If you push them to the sea, they call God to divide it so that they can walk past, just to get things going. And that's really I've always said this, and I say it again, and this time I say it on live TV. If you want the Nigerian system to move forward, then any president who knows his onions would sit down with the civil servants, are you with me, and apologize to them for what has been done to them over the last 50 years. So that they can now come back and say, you know what, let's do the work that we do.
A renewed hope.
All right.
I don't know about that hope.
Okay, let's take comments from YouTube, and then we'll take another paper. On YouTube...
No, we're still on Punch, though. We have more stories. We just took one.
On the front page of... in the comment section on YouTube, we're streaming live via News Central TV Live. We can see some comments. Moke Chukwemeka says, good advice from NACA, and also be careful of unwanted pregnancy because the results will show by November.
There is no pregnancy that is unwanted.
Benga.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Are you listening?
My own cannot be unwanted. I'm legally married, fam.
Oh, sorry.
Anything that happens, I accept it with my full chest.
Okay.
It is the will of God.
Said we should come to this world and multiply.
I've moved on a long time ago.
We move.
Prince Ajibade says, I agree with your reviewer. That faulty headline is wrong. Print media houses shouldn't be behaving
Should be
like
sensitive.
bloggers. He then says, Nwaebonyi is doing everything possible to protect his daily bread. How would he win a re-election if he fails to protect his godfather? He's such an arrogant young man that needs some training.
That person that sent that message, what's the name of that person?
Prince Ajibade.
Prince Ajibade knows his onions. I suggest he gets a noodle and have the onion flavor.
I'm sorry, guys. Olumide Alade says there are many flaws in the way this country, Nigeria, is being governed. What happened yesterday clearly showed bias. The senator appeared to be shielding the minister simply because they are from the same state.
And it shouldn't
That
be
is
so.
completely wrong. It is inappropriate to prevent a serving official from the same state when you it's inappropriate to present a serving official from the same state when you intend to conduct an objective interview. The minister is reportedly his political godfather in Ebonyi State, which raises serious concerns about impartiality and accountability. If we truly want to move Nigeria forward, many things must be corrected. Transparency and fairness, of course, must be.
So he would rather fight his own colleague to protect his godfather.
That's why Senator Hanga was saying that he's something.
Oh, yes.
He's something because he's his boss.
He's a hit man.
Then he said he's a hitman. You know, when we look at systems falling, Uade, you've mentioned that, you start to wonder what the future will look like. And need I say this, maybe it will be recorded and it can be played maybe in 10 years' time. The younger generation who have seen all of this, the moment they get into power...
No, they are going to be worse.
What we are seeing here, already seen symptoms of what the younger generation will do. Did you not see the SUG president of
I saw that. I think that was just a front. I think it was just a front. I don't think it was real. I don't think it was real because those bodyguards were young. They looked like students as well.
I mean, it will shock you. Have you not seen student pastors?
But not to deviate. The point is...
let me add to that what you're saying. Our generation is like this because of some of the things that started to transpire as we grew up. And that's what's reflective today.
So what will happen 10 years' time?
Because what our generation is teaching our children is me, myself, and I. And all this me, myself, and I started in 1975. I can beat my chest and say it. And anybody who doesn't agree with me, you can say anything. But the records are there. We don't even read history. The destruction of the civil service started in 1975, and the coffin was finally nailed in 1999. And we know the people who did that. I don't need to mention names. So if my age mates or those who are slightly older than me tend to forget this, what do you think they are teaching their own children, who, many of them, in real essence, all they care about is, like you say, how do you call those things in social media?
Clock it.
God bless you.
Let's take another story. Let's take another story on the paper, by the way. APC NNPP back Kwankwaso as U.S. sanctions tension rises. APC NNPP back Kwankwaso as U.S. sanctions tension rises on religious freedom violations. U.S. Congress gets bill proposing visa ban, asset seizure for ex-governor and others. Look at this story. Blackouts. 300 billion naira power lifeline for hospitals, universities, hits snag. OT law. Why did we start the banding? A, B, C, D. Some people said it's F. Bandits. And now, sustainable stories. Africa, they cannot sustain it anymore.
And in the same light, no.
Joe, I've always told you from the beginning.
That's why I called your name, Sustainable Stories Africa.
It was not sustainable. Consumers, individuals, are not the people who pay for the upgrades of electricity anywhere in the world. And I will maintain that till the day
it's a public
they
good.
cremate me when I die. It's a what?
I mean, electricity is a public utility.
Electricity is a public utility, but it has two aspects. There's a commercial and there's a social. You don't expect those who earn salaries to be the ones to pay the commercial bills for you. It doesn't work.
And it's discriminatory. But beyond that, let's look at the importance of this. Power lifeline for hospitals and varsities. And also, I think they should add barracks to it because these are
barracks, hospitals,
assets.
Varsities.
It shouldn't even be, it should be non-negotiable. They should have 24-hour power supply.
I think
you've
missed one too.
But in the same light, in this country, Aso Rock to go off national grid by March as their own solar project nears completion. So it tells you about
priorities.
So Aso Rock
is more important. Anointing flows from the top.
You know something, and I always say this. I remember, I think it was early last year when one of the electricity distribution companies had an issue with one of the security, a member of the security architecture in Nigeria, and everybody was like, oh, they were reckless. Yes, they went too far. However, I have always said this. Security systems must have 24 hours light, and they must never be on band A. We must negotiate what the cost of producing that electricity and giving it to them, and putting a small margin so that they can pay. I don't expect the airport to go down. I don't expect our air intelligence watch systems to go down, because we are blind spots. People can attack us. Are you with me? And it happened. I don't expect them to run on generator, diesel. You must have 24/7 light. But you can't pay 200 naira per kilowatt hour. They don't make that kind of money, even commercially.
And you're putting hospitals, apart from this.
And hospitals, government hospitals, fall into this category. What is band A? Industries are the ones who pay to build electrical infrastructure. Anybody in the electrical business if you are listening to me, you know that I'm speaking the truth to you. What we as individuals do, are you with me, is continue to oil that system. What I call the variable cost effect of maintenance and all. If you don't have refinery on grid, you don't have industries that are working on grid that will pay you that commercial rate, and then you say it is
ordinary people.
Benga is on band A. Benga is here, or Benga is out of the house at 5 o'clock in the morning and probably doesn't get home till 6 p.m. So he's out for 12 hours. I mean,
my wife knows I come back before 6. Let's not.
No. I'm just using an example.
She's watching. And tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Don't deprive me of some.
Tomorrow is not Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is on Saturday. You see, you're already going too far. Anyway,
Wow.
like I said, you are away for 12 hours. If you live on your own, it's probably the only thing that is on in the house is the fridge.
Yeah, so you come back because you don't know when they will take like that. The soup not spoil.
Exactly.
Olive soup and parfait.
Exactly, perfect.
Yeah.
And perfect.
And then, in the remaining 12 hours that you're inside the house, you're in the living room watching TV, and then you go into your room. And these days, nobody turns on AC and go and stay in another room. It makes no sense.
No.
Even the AC self, you don't turn it on overnight.
No, you
put
don't.
it on.
There's
And that, like, yes, sir, you will go. It has timer that will go off, and then the fan will continue to work.
You dare not. You dare
But
not.
that's the reality. And then you say they should be paying 200 naira. I know someone who they just moved to Bande and they have a solar system. So during the day, that's what they use. And at night, are you with me? They use band A electricity for 4 hours. And when it's time to sleep, they switch back to the solar power. And nobody turns on light unnecessarily. So let's get our acts right, you know, and that's it. I've said this so many times, those in the power sector know it. Are you with me? People like Benga, Joe, Olive, and I are not the ones that will pay for the
Still on the front page
upgrade
of the Punch
power
newspaper, El-Rufai anticipates arrest as police detain allies. He's been talking tough these days. He had some not so kind words to say about the National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Ribadu. He says since they've been detaining his allies, he won't be surprised if he's arrested. I mean, why this change of fortune for Malam Nasir El-Rufai? We remembered him speaking at the Royal Institute of International Affairs, Chatham House, where the president was delegating his And we thought, you know, it was a foregone conclusion. There will be a minister.
So let me just use a
cabinet.
Let me just use a good example when it comes to politics. All of a sudden, the man who owns Tesla doesn't see anything good in the president who
They've
made
made up for you.
So maybe they will make up. So let's leave it that way.
Do you see that happening? And
the
fact that he's speaking this way, do you think
speaking which way that he could be arrested? If everybody thinks he has done,
he's a critic of the government.
Yeah, but there's so many critics of the government.
Is it sour grapes?
Benga.
I just want to say to Uade.
He can't set me up. You know, he always tries. Benga, if El Rufai believes that he has done nothing wrong, are you with me? From a security perspective, from a criminal perspective, and he's arrested or he's invited for questioning, then he should go and put his case up. And if he's detained unlawfully, then let us in the media and all those who speak about unlawful detention speak to it.
Okay.
Fair enough. I'll leave it at that.
Cybercrime court jails 2 Chinese directors, 92
years.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Just last week, a court in Nigeria sentenced somebody to 450 years. Olive is like your constituency,
the
judiciary. They are vexing these days.
How many
So what we have to do now is just to wish the criminals long life and prosperity.
But when we say 92 years, on how many counts? Because they all run concurrently most times. At the Olive, correct me when I'm wrong. So when you say 500,
what's the life expectancy?
All these when you say, oh,
of a Nigerian life.
He has been jailed for 600 years. Maybe 30 counts of 20 years.
Olive, that's what you call a Methuselah-like sentence.
You're going to stay there. Your children's children will come and inherit it.
We wish you long life and prosperity.
They'll put it in your will.
So they can, who's going to take after?
Will inherit the rest of my sentence. Uade, thank you for joining us this morning. We always enjoy having conversations with you. And to our YouTube audience, thank you very much. I need to read this comment, very, very important. But before I get to the comment, okay, Chukwemeka says, what are they teaching their children? Let's not go far. Wike's sons are seeing how he's going about as a politician. Will they be different?
I mean, and one of his sons is always with him.
Yeah, so, you heard the allegations of them putting him there.
I was listening to the man you interviewed earlier.
We are almost out of time.
Where he talked about the 5 classes of where you should be. And number 1 now is the political
class. 2 comments. Moki Chukwemeka says, Benga doesn't want pre-Valentine Wahala. Then Shedrack Eja says, Benga actually doesn't come back home until 11 p.m.
Someone knows you well, Benga.
Okay.
Shedrack is an ambition mixer. He's just there.
Are you sure? I don't
Shedrack, I'm going to see you after the show.
Okay.
No wonder when just before we come on there, we're talking about Shedrack, and someone said that Abednego, you find maybe this is the Abednego.
Tomorrow, Benga is going. We'll confirm with his wife and bring you the update. As we're wrapping up, I of course want to celebrate Catherine Tomiloba, who's my mentee and my baby, and I wish you an absolutely beautiful year. We'll see you tomorrow for the pre-Valentine celebration. Have a wonderful day. All of you must wear red tomorrow. All of you must wear red. Deal?
Bye. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.